Hello there, everyone. Key of Shadow here, and today we're going to talk about another aspect of fandom culture. Since y'all seem to like the last time I talked about this so much, what are we talking about today? It's shipping. Now, for the 5 people here watching that don't know what shipping is, it's basically what a fandom takes two people or two characters from a thing they like, and they imagine a relationship for them, and how weird and okay or whatever kind of fluctuates between different fandoms. So today I'm gonna talk about 3 fandoms with varying shipping cultures behind them, and yeah, we're just gonna go into that. Now, first one's probably gonna be pretty fucking self-explanatory if you know anything about it, but we're gonna talk about it anyways, just for funsies. Now, I know I don't actually have to talk about My Hero for this, but I'm going to do it anyways, just because I like the sound of my own voice. Now, what's funny is that, at least from my memory, when My Hero came out, there was basically no shipping culture behind it, basically at all. And then, out of nowhere, as if summoned by Satan himself, we go from having no shipping culture to some shit... to some shit if you don't like Deku fucking Bakugo, you're a dick! Or some shit. So I don't understand how we can go from little to no shipping culture at all to quite literally the most toxic and well-known shipping culture in all of current modern anime. It's baffling to me because this shipping culture for My Hero is so toxic and so prevalent that it's basically one of the main things that people think of when they think My Hero Academia. They don't think anything about, the characters or, the story or anything. They think, oh, this is the show with the really toxic fandom that just wants all of the guys to fuck each other. That's what this show is. It's even affected me, in all honesty, because of the, rampant fandom that mainly comes a lot from the toxic side of it that's the most prominent, especially the shipping side of it. I personally just kind of completely distanced myself from My Hero Academia as a whole. I have not kept up with it. I have not read anything. I have not watched anything. Anything that I know about what's going on in My Hero is from friends that I have that are still in it, that are able to power through that. But me, I don't have the patience for that personally. I don't have the patience to sit and watch a show when there's an entire fan base behind it that just makes me want to jump off the nearest bridge in my hometown. It's honestly how do we get here? That's my main question with this one in particular. How do we get here where we go from something that's just relatively in the background to being literally the most prominent thing that shapes the reputation of the entire fandom? Yeah, I think it goes without saying, I think you knew when you clicked on this video, if I was going to talk about My Hero. Yeah, My Hero, probably the most toxic shipping culture in, modern anime right now. Now, this is an interesting case, the shipping culture behind this fandom, because it fluctuated over the years. It started out being really toxic, then it calmed down, and now we're at the point where people are shipping fucking Hinata with Raikage A.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, granted, that sounds like a meme, and to be fair, it probably started out as one. But it's gotten to the point where people are legitimately shipping this they're legitimately for this pairing and are willing to die on a hill to defend it. Now, it's not just Hinata that is involved in this weird idea of Raikage NTR whatever. And I'm fairly certain that this originally started as just an excuse for people to draw a lot of NTR hentai. And I guess the Raikage here just gives off that, yeah, I'm the guy from the NTR hentai energy. But now, like I said, it has gotten to the point where people are legitimately pairing this together. It's not just Hinata, like I said, it's basically any other woman like any other woman in the Naruto verse. Like, specifically the married ones I've noticed, like, it's mainly the ones that, like, are currently married. So literally the context behind all of this when you see art of it is like, this is an affair. This is not, like, this is an extramarital, like, relationship. So I don't understand it. That's basically the bulk of this one right here. I do not understand what the appeal is. Like, outside of the whole fucked up hentai thing, I don't understand the appeal behind, like, the idea of, like, basically every woman in the fucking verse having this, like, NTR, unfaithful, like, you know, this kind of, like, extra relationship. Specifically with Raikage A, like, it's not even just like, oh, it's just NTR in general. No, it's specifically this guy. And again, people will die on a hill to defend this. There are weird ships like Boruto as well. Like, one that comes to my mind, like, just, you know, off the top of my head, is people shipping Himawari with Kawaki, and that's just shipping an elementary school student with a fucking high school freshman. There's one more weird third ship that I'm 100% sure is just an excuse to draw fucked up hentai. I'd never see anyone defend this ship, so I'm fairly certain it's just for hentai. And that is Sarada with 7th Hokage Naruto.
What? What the fuck?
Now, keep in mind, Sarada's like 12, 13 at this point, and Naruto as the Hokage is like, what, in his early to mid 30s? Like, I don't remember the exact age there. But yeah, now, I haven't seen people defending this one, so I fully think that this is just an excuse to draw some, like, really fucked up, like, lolly hentai or some shit. But the fact that I've seen that stuff enough to the point, like, that stuff is, like, popped up in like the community, or at least my side of things, enough to where I'm even talking about it and I'm even bringing attention to it. Like, it kind of shows that there's enough people that are doing this to warrant, you know, at least something about it coming up. Like, how do we get here? Like, how do we get with this community? How do we get this, like, weird fluctuation to where, like, it was really toxic, but then, like, near the end of the series, it, you know, calmed down and maybe had a meme here and there. But then when they decided to keep the show going with the new generation, all this shit, we get back into more, like, kind of weird or fucked up ships from you know, these characters in the series. Like, oh my fucking god. Can we just talk about the next one, please? Like, fuck. Now, this being Kingdom Hearts, of course, like, I'm gonna have a ship in it, just cause, you know, I've been with this series for about as long as I can remember. And, if you're curious, by the way, Roxas and Shion, I will not explain myself, fight me, but this is another one that has, like, an interesting history behind it, in the sense that, like, shipping was, like, prominent in Kingdom Hearts, like, just, like, 10, 15 years ago. Well, to the point where if anyone had any connection with another character, regardless of how these characters actually, like, even if these characters even actually like each other, then they would get shipped. Like, I'm talking, like, shit like, Demyx and Zigbar, Vexen and Zexion, and Xemnas and Saïx, like, just to name a few. But, like, the shipping culture has, like, calmed down a lot with Kingdom Hearts over the years, to the point where, yeah, you'll still have, like, your yaoi ships, like, you know, Sora and Riku, like, those aren't going anywhere. And you'll even have people with, like, some very unorthodox and very weird ships involving, like, an example that I can think of off the top of my head is, like, I think I saw something with, like, Kairi and Aqua, or, like, involving, like, Shion with Axel. Like, these are ships that I've seen, but, like, I don't understand. Like, how do we get here? Like, how do we get with this? 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 but they're not very widespread ships. Not to mention, like, no one's like being very fucking hostile and dying on a hill for these ships like they would like I said about 10, 15 years ago. It's almost to the point where like the shipping culture in Kingdom Hearts, like the community behind this kind of thing, have kind of settled into a certain like position where it's like, hey, you have your thing, I have my thing, we might not be able to agree on it, but you know, we can coexist. You know, we can, like, we don't have to be like butting heads with each other, which is this is probably the one time where I've seen a community, like a culture around something like shipping, get to the point where people can just have their things, coexist, and not, you know, basically go to fucking war with each other anytime that ships are mentioned in this series. There may be other examples of this with like other series and such, but this is the only one that I'm personally aware of. If you know any like communities that have like this, like a similar kind of shipping culture to this one, where it's kind of just like mellowed out, please do let me know. I'm actually quite curious to see if there are any other ones that I have like overlooked. But in my personal experience, out of the three like fandoms with this culture that we've talked about in this video today, funny enough, the Kingdom Hearts is the one that has like probably the least problematic shipping culture behind it. Are there some oddballs in there? Yeah, of course. They're going to be everywhere. But this is the one that I've seen the least amount of problems with in like the past few years, simply because it seems like the fandom behind, you know, all that stuff has finally chilled the fuck out, which after this long, they've about fucking time.
I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have runneth dry.
I guess the message behind this video, like, is simply that, like, unlike the power scaling thing, like, shipping is something that, like, is very inconsistent. It very much depends on the fandom and, like, how long it's been going on and things like that. So, yeah, shipping is just weird. That's basically all I wanted to say, so, I hope y'all have a good fucking day.